Okay. Always have to plug my microphone in first. All right. Hello everyone, happy Friday. I hope you've had a lovely week. I forgot what the day was earlier, so lucky I made it to the live stream at all. I had to remind myself what day it was, but I'm glad to be here and I hope you are ready to do some back bends. So if you've been to my classes, you know I love back bends. They're really important for back care. So if you want to strengthen your back, it may sound counterintuitive, but you need to really be doing back bends, or at least some gentle back bends, because they contract all the muscles surrounding the spine in the back, contracting them so they can get stronger. So back bends are good for your back, which a lot of people don't understand at first, because obviously if you do have a sore back or a tight back, then you avoid them at all costs. But in fact, forward folds are probably going to be more detrimental to you because they're lengthening and weakening those back muscles. So you want a combination of back bends and forward folds for a good all-round back care yoga program. So that's the first thing I will say, love a back bend. Secondly, if you are working with a serious back injury, like a herniated disc or something like that, this is not the video for you. Instead, wait till I'm back, hit me up, and then we will go through a plan specifically for you. So if you are working with a serious back injury, do not do this video. And if you have any concerns at all, just check with a doctor and you can come back to this because I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel. There's that, done, tick, tick. Third thing, you're gonna want a strap. This isn't a yoga strap, this is my dressing gown cord, because I felt like it would be more Blue Peter to show you what you could use around the house in place of a yoga strap. So if you have a yoga strap, great, go grab it. If you have a dressing gown cord, go grab it. Other things you can use, a belt, just something like this, but maybe less sort of snow leopard print. All right, so, and what else do I want to mention? Also with back bends, it's never just a back bend. So a lot of people think, oh, my back's really tight, I can't do back bends, but there's so many more things that play into it that create a successful back bend. For example, I like to think of back bends as front body openers. So no matter how flexible your spine is or your back muscles are, you will never get into a back bend like wheel or crab if your hip flexors are tight, if you're tight in the shoulders, okay? So if you can't get into a back bend, it might not actually be anything to do with your back. It may be something else going on in the body. So we're going to sort of play around with that. We're going to do a variety of back bends today, from beginners back bends like bridge, etc., through to some more advanced ones towards the end, camel, wheel pose. It's going to be fun. I feel like that was a very concise introduction from me, apart from my lip gloss being a bit tacky and I felt like I was picking hair out of it. Apart from that, it was very concise. So we are going to begin on our backs. So if you've just joined, you will need a yoga strap or a dressing gown cord. And we're just going to work some gentle movements to wake the back up. So we're going to be doing a couple of lion twists to begin with. Love a lion twist. So I'm going to put that over there. So just come down onto your backs. So legs straight. And if that isn't comfortable for whatever reason, feel free to bend the knees and have the soles of the feet on the floor instead. Totally up to you. Either way, just let the hands rest a little way away from the body, palms up, and then you can close your eyes or have your eyes open. Feels good to be lying down. I feel like I've not been lying down all day. So we're just going to take a few moments here, like we do at the start of every single class, bringing the attention into the room and also just trying to tune out any distractions. So it's going to be really important today that we're focused, that we're super aware of how we're feeling in each posture, each back bend, and we want to make sure we're moving mindfully so that we can, you know, just be intelligent with how we practice today. So starting to draw the attention inwards, starting to focus on the breath and the sensations in the body. So we'll start with the breathing. You want to slow the breath right down. Slow it down, but finding a sustainable rhythm for you. So at no point do you want to feel like you're running out of breath. Breathe in through the nose if possible, and also trying to make the inhales and exhales equal in length. Paying special attention to the exhale, which tends to be a bit quicker. Okay, and even breathing deeply like this, you may start to feel some tension release in the upper back. We're also stretching into the muscles in between the ribs. And important to find this rhythm now, because with backbends you'll find that they have a real tendency to speed the breath up. The heart rate tends to quicken. So already with that in mind, just getting some control over how we're breathing. So once you've found that rhythm, let's take the attention to the body. So check in, see how you feel. Any injuries you need to be mindful of, any areas of tension that you're working with. So a few areas that may make backbends challenging in general, obviously it varies, but hip flexors, quads if they're tight, also shoulders. If shoulders are tight, you may find it difficult to get the hand positioning in backbend, such as will. Okay, and then just very slowly open your eyes if your eyes are closed, and then we're going to take a cat stretch. So point both feet down the mat, arms overhead, lengthen. Longest stretch you've had all day. Point the toes, lift the hands, and then feel that stretch come into the lower back, the shoulders, tops of the legs, all those areas we're trying to work with. You may feel a lift in your lower back, which is totally normal. And then exhale. Just hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side and make circles. Okay, so back of the head on the floor, hands around the knees or the shins to make those circles, and then squeeze in the thighs up towards the belly as you roll. Another fantastic little movement for your lower back. Really good if you hold tension in that area. Lovely if you've been sitting down all day as well, like me. I might have said earlier that I felt like I haven't lie down all day. I have been sitting down all day. It's just a slight change in position that done it for me. Okay, and then take both feet to the floor. So let's start with a couple of twists just to wake the spine up. So take your arms out wide, palms down, feet and knees together, then just draw your heels in towards your butt. Inhale here, then as you exhale, just let the knees drop over towards the right. So the arms are in a T position and the knees are dropping over towards. Neck's okay, just turn and have a little look over your left shoulder. So a very passive lying twist, underrated, so good for us, so good for our backs. And there is nothing to do here apart from make sure that left shoulder is planted. So a bit of a tendency for it to lift, but we want to anchor it down because that's where the stretch starts from. And then there's no effort to get the knees to the floor, no effort to keep the knees together if they want to fall apart. And a few places you may feel this, lower back obviously, top left hip, groin, maybe obliques, and then take the attention back to the breath. And then inhale, make your way back to center, and then on the exhale, very lazily, just let your legs fall over towards the left. I've got a radiator in the way, so they won't go any further than this, but you drop them to the left as far as they want to go, and then turn your head and look over your right shoulder, making sure that right shoulder's down. And if it keeps lifting up, a few things you can do. You can bring the knees higher towards center, or you can really press down through the right, make that arm a little bit stronger. And then just noticing if one side feels a bit different. Not so we can judge, just so we can build a sort of stronger body awareness. Okay, and then inhale back to center, lovely. So we're going to repeat that posture. This time, if possible, just pick your feet up off the mat a few inches to take a slightly deeper twist. So big inhale here, then exhale, legs over towards the right again. Turn and look over your left shoulder. A little bit trickier to keep that left shoulder down, but just do your best. And then again, the legs do not have to hit the floor, and keep that slow, steady rhythm up into the chest. So if possible, we're breathing into the left side of the chest now. Okay, and then inhale back to center, and then on the exhale, let those legs fall over towards the left. And then you're turning and looking over your right shoulder last time. Totally relaxing into the posture, no effort. So we're not engaging any muscles, gravity's doing most of the work for us, and making sure that right shoulder stays down. The radiator is so warm on my feet, it's so nice. Okay, a few more moments here, just for me really, more than anything. Okay, then inhale back to center, lovely. Take both feet down the mat, arms overhead, take another cat stretch here, lengthen as much as you possibly can. Feeling that stretch, fingertips down to toes. And then exhale, hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. One last time, back of the head on the floor, and then using the hands to just squeeze the thighs up towards the belly. And then when you're ready, we're popping ourselves up to seated, and then we're making our way into all fours for my favourite posture in the world. You know what it is, it's a cat-cow, love a cat-cow. But honestly, like I say, the back does not get to move like that very much, that very sort of fluid rolling of the spine. It loves it, I promise. If your spine could talk, it would tell you it loves it. So all four position, fingers spread underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and let's move through our cat-cows. Keep the tops of the feet on the floor here. And then inhale, lift the hips, lift the chest, look forward. Here's a back bend, our first back bend. And then exhale, tuck the hips under, drop the head, push into the hands and arch the spine up towards the ceiling. So your inhale lifts hips, lifts chest, you look forward, gently squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, round the back, chin to chest, and the more you push into the hands, the deeper the stretch across the upper back. And then keep going. Use your own breath to guide the movement here, so the whole of your inhale lifts, and then the whole of your exhale rounds. Should hopefully feel quite nice. Obviously, any pain, just either decrease the exaggeratedness, decrease the depth, that's the word I'm looking for, of the movement, or just sit it out. Otherwise, keep the cat-cows going. Nice, slow, controlled movements. And then really seeing if you can just hold the inhale, that back bend, for a few counts. Just checking in, seeing how it feels. Does it feel good? Uncomfortable? So getting to know our spines in this back bend class. All right, a couple more rounds of this. And then on the end of your next exhale, no rush, just come to a flat back. We have our fingers nice and spread, so get them as wide as you can. Knees underneath hips, and then very simply we're going to take the right leg back, toes tucked on the inhale. Now, coming into passive hamstring stretch. So we're pushing back through that right heel, sharing the weight between both hands, and then looking straight down to begin with. So there's a nice long line from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone, all the way to that back heel. So working into obviously right calf and hamstring, but also strengthening into the shoulders. And believe it or not, you know, some of the back bends, they do require having very strong shoulders. So keep those shoulders nice and stable, don't allow them to collapse towards one another, so press into the hands. Okay, then on your next inhale, we're going to raise that right leg off the floor and point the toes. Ooh, okay. So something that happens here is that people want to lean over towards the left, but see if you can keep sharing the weight between both hands. Okay, then to begin with, we're just going to see if we can keep that right hip pulling down, so we're not hiking the right hip up too high. Okay, we'll add a little bit more onto it. So on your next inhale, your left arm is going to come out in front of you, and we'll have the palms facing the center of the mat. Okay, lovely. So at the moment we've got a nice straight line from fingertips all the way down to toes, but now we're going to see if we can just exaggerate it a little bit. So look forward, and then as you inhale, see if you can lift that right leg higher, and then lift the left arm a little bit higher. So now almost coming into like a banana shape with the back, and then hold it here for a few deep breaths. Still seeing if we can really lengthen that line. Beautiful. Hold it here for 5. It's quite strong. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Knee down, hand down. Woo! Regretting that radiator being on now. Getting a little bit hot up in here. All right, so let's change sides. So to begin with, hands underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips, back toes tucked. So starting by working into that left hamstring. Simply pushing back through the left heel. To begin with, we're looking straight down, so focusing on that nice long line, crown of the head to tailbone. And then as you inhale, left leg lifts, and then point left toes. All right. So to begin with, let's keep left hip facing the floor, so the hips are parallel to the floor. And I think it's really valuable to do this because we want to work with controlled movements. We want to move through our back bends intelligently. So setting the foundation up. Okay, and then from here, right arm comes out, palms face in, look straight down to begin with. And if the next movement doesn't feel very good, then you're more than welcome to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to make a banana shape with the back. So look forward, kick that left leg up as high as you can get it, then reach your right arm up, so it's almost like at a diagonal angle. And then you can just follow the gaze towards that right hand if you want. Hold it here for 5, 4, I'm shaking. 3, deep breaths. 2, and 1, release. Hand down, knee down. Okay, child's pose. So if possible, feet and knees together. Bum towards heels. Get your bum and your heels as close together as possible before walking the hands forward and laying the body down. Over time, forehead comes down, but if that's not happening, you can just stay up on forearms, no problem. And if it is super uncomfortable to have your knees together, feel free to separate them slightly, that's fine. But wherever you are, just take a couple of breaths in child's pose. Okay, and then inhale, make your way back up into all fours. So, we're going to take that one step further. So come into your all four position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then to begin with, on your inhale, right leg back, toes tucked. Get postures up properly, making sure we're not rushing. Okay, then from here, lift that right leg off the floor and point the toes. Okay, doing really well. On your next inhale, left arm out in front of you, palms face in, just hold it here. And then we're going to see if we can do something slightly different this time. So be mindful as you move through this, because if you move too fast, you're going to get cramp. Just see if you can draw your right heel in towards your bum. Reach around with your left hand to take the top of your right foot. Now, if this isn't happening, just come back to that position we were working with the leg extended and the arm extended. Otherwise, left hand takes the right foot, kick the right foot into the hand and look forward. So coming into tiger, hold it here. So another thing you can do, but it's a lot of faff, is to use the strap. Otherwise, just come back to that balancing position we were doing, very good for you. And if you have the foot, kick into the hand and then see if you can draw the left foot forward. Hold it here for 5 deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. And then bring your hands back down and we'll do the other side. Who said back bends? Well, no one said back bends were easy, so I'm just making stuff up. So coming to all fours, let's do the other side. Setting the posture up properly, so taking that left leg back to begin with, pushing back through the left heel. You might notice that the breath is getting a little bit weird. Back bends will do that to you, so just see if you can slow that breathing down. And then on your next inhale, let's lift the left leg up and then point the toes. So no need to take that leg massively high this side, so keeping the hips parallel is fine. And then on your next inhale, right arm comes out, palms face in to begin with. I love these videos because I'm doing it with you and I feel your pain, but this is so good for us. So you can stay here. If you're not gonna take the foot, just stay here and work on that breathing. Otherwise, gently, slowly draw the left heel in towards the bum, reach around with the right hand, see if you can take the top of that left foot. Now if you have the foot, kick the foot into the hand and then draw that right shoulder forward. The things we do. Okay, so as well as a back bend, very good for your right shoulder, we're stretching into that left hip flexor, so hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, doing really well, and 1. Release, release, release. All right, come back to child's pose, feet and knees together if possible. This time, take the hands either side of the body and let the shoulders fall down to the floor. And have a couple of breaths. Okay, so letting your heart rate come back to normal a little bit. Child's pose is a great counter posture for these back bends if you're practicing them at home. And we're just gonna work into the shoulders a little bit from this position. So from here, squeeze your shoulder blades together, interlace your hands behind your back, and then really actually squeeze your shoulder blades together. Imagine you're trying to smush something between them. And then as you inhale, lift your arms away from your lower back, up towards the ceiling. Doesn't matter if they don't lift very high, just in that direction or thereabouts. And then feel that stretch in the shoulders, across the pecs. And shoulders are definitely something that stops us coming up into back bend, so really good to work on our shoulder mobility. But from this posture we are just keeping the bum on the heel, so for today do not lift the butt away from the feet. Couple more breaths here. See if you can maybe just draw those shoulder blades together a little bit more, maybe straighten the arms a little bit more. And then exhale, just let the hands flop either side of the body, and then maybe give your wrists a wriggle. Okay, come up into all fours and make your way into seated. This radiator is very hot. This is not the first literally doing hot yoga. So now, locust, yes. Bit early for locust. Well, it's 25 minutes. I feel like we've warmed up enough. We're going to do this 3 times. The first time it's going to be the sort of, I don't say it's not gentle, but the gentler version where you've got maybe a little bit of back support if you need it. And the second and third times we just remove a little bit of that support so those back muscles can take over. So come onto your bellies. All right. And then keep your feet hip width apart, tops of the feet on the floor. I love this posture. It is one of the best ways to strengthen your back from a very supported position. So what we are going to do, we'll set it up together. So feet hip width apart and parallel, feet are on the floor. And then when we come into the posture, our forehead will also be on the floor. But for now, we'll just set the hands up. So we're going to keep the hands on the floor first time. We're going to place the hands either side of the chest, and then the elbows are not coming out sideways, they are squeezing back like little locust legs. So the shoulders are always drawing together from here. Now, when we come into this posture, see if you can keep the hands sort of either hovering or lightly on the floor, but if you need more back support, feel free to press into the hands to help you lift. And then place your forehead on the mat. Okay, so let's set this up. So our legs are not lazy. So press into the tops of the feet to lift the knees. So now the quads are working. Now press your pubic bone into the floor. So the pelvis presses down into the floor. Squeeze your elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then see if you can do this hands hovering off the floor. As you inhale, lift the chest, look forward. Okay, so it's just a little general back bend. But it's quite hard work. So if you need a bit of support, you can press into the hands, otherwise hands hovering. Now squeeze those elbows back, squeeze your shoulders together, and then keep your legs strong. You should feel a contraction in your back, and with every inhale, maybe lifting the chest just a little bit higher. And then holding it here for 5, 4, keep the knees lifted, 3, shoulders back, 2, and 1. So gently, just come down. You can make a pillow with the hands, place your forehead on your hands, or you can just come down onto one cheek and have a rest. Either way, just take a breath here, breath or 2. So what we're trying to feel, what I want you to try and feel is a contraction, like a muscle contraction in your back. Okay, now, second time. So if that's where you're staying today, you're going to repeat that posture. Otherwise, this time we're going to take the hands away from it, so the hands will not be helping us. We're going to place the hands either side of the body, and then we're going to see if we can shoot those hands back alongside the body off the floor. Okay, so decide what you want to do. If you want to do the no hands option, place your hands either side of the body, and then place your forehead on the floor. All right? So feet hip width apart and parallel, tops of the feet on the mat. We'll set the legs up first, so press into the tops of the feet to lift the knees. Tuck the pelvis into the floor, legs are strong. And then as you inhale, lift your chest and then shoot your hands back. Palms are facing each other. Yes, a little bit stronger now. So hold it here, definitely feeling that work in the back. So keep breathing, keep squeezing shoulders together. Really work those fingertips back and hold it for 5, 4, 3, see if you can lift the chest a little higher, 2, and 1. Relax, all right? Again, making a pillow or coming down onto the opposite cheek, just having a bit of a rest. Okay, and the third one we're going to do, the third and final one, is if that felt okay, we're going to see if we can lift the feet up off the floor as well, but don't lift the feet up until you have the hands off the floor, just to make sure that you're feeling stable. Otherwise, you can repeat any of the options we just done. So decide what you want to do. Feet hip width apart and parallel, tops of the feet on the floor. If you want to give it a go, hands come either side of the body again, forehead down. Okay, so let's set it up. Set the legs up, press into the tops of the feet to lift the knees, tuck the pelvis into the floor, get the legs strong. And then as you inhale, lifting, peeling the chest off the mat, shooting those fingertips back. Getting as much lift as you can, staying here, or whoosh, shoot those feet back as well. All right, we are strong. A lot of work going on here, but you're doing amazing. Can't see you, but you're doing amazing. I bet some of you are doing this with wine. Draw those feet back, draw those fingertips back. Hold it here for 5, 4, legs are shaking. 3, that's it. 2, and 1, relax. Woo. All right, good job team. We're gonna make our way into child's pose. So, slowly push yourself up. Draw the weight back. This time, feet together, knees as wide as your mat, bum towards heels, wide child's pose, forehead towards floor. And this should feel really lovely. So with back bends, like I've been saying, we contract the muscles in the back, and child's pose is a great way to stretch those muscles back out. Taking a couple of breaths here. Notice if your breath has got a little bit weird, and then see if you can slow it back down. Okay, that's enough child's pose. Enough, come up into all fours. We're gonna make our way into downward dog. Right, so fingers spread, and we wanna get the fingers spread because this is just a good preparation for a lot of things. So, fingers spread underneath shoulders. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Tucking your toes, sending your hips up and back, and you're coming into downward dog. Now, you can bend your knees as much as you need to. You can have the heels off the floor, does not matter. Just have your feet hip width apart, and then please no tension in the neck. So let your head drop down between your arms. And then if you like, you are more than welcome to pedal the heels down, one then the other. Working into the calves, hamstrings. If you push your hip back as you push your heel down, you draw a deeper stretch at the top of the hamstrings up towards the glute. If you want to keep it static, you keep it static. This is your downward dog. You can do what you like with it. Just keep that breath steady. A downward dog, really good for your lower back as well. So if you are practicing back bends, you might want to throw a couple in just to wind down. Okay, lovely. Then if you're pedaling, stop pedaling. And then from here we're coming up to standing, so weight comes forward into the hands act as feet. As you jump or you step or you'll walk your feet between your hands, look forward, and then exhale, just drop the head forward fold. Now hold this forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to, let the head be really heavy. Okay, and from here we're going to roll the spine up. So we're going to roll the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae, head's going to be the last thing to lift, and the arms are going to be relaxed as we roll up. So we're rolling up. Yes, we are. All the way to standing. And then we're up. Amazing. Lovely job. Give your body a shake. So, then cat-cow. I could never remember if cat or the cow is the back bend. I don't want to say, I don't want to get it wrong. But we done one of them. Back bend. Tiger pose a back bend. Locust a back bend. So we're going to be moving on to a couple of other sort of ones in a bit, but we really do need to work the shoulders a little bit more and really need to work the hip flexors and the quads just a little bit more as well. So you will need your dressing gown cord or your strap for this. So please go and locate it because we're going to be doing a shoulder opener. All right, now what we are going to do is we're going to stand with our feet hip width apart and parallel. You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing, but I feel like you're going to be able to know what I'm doing anyway. So feet hip width apart and parallel. We're going to lift the strap of the dressing gown cord above your head and lengthen it so the strap is on top of your head, because we're going to be doing this 3 times, so you don't want to take it too far the first time. So feet hip width apart and parallel, lengthening the strap so the strap touches the head, and we're going to keep the arms quite strong Inhale, lift, and then exhale, bring that strap back halfway. So it looks like this, all right? I'll stand here. Okay, so we're not coming into a forward fold and we're not coming into a back bend. Two things that happen a lot. We're keeping the body upright. You can have a little bend in your elbows, okay? Elbows facing the ceiling, and then really pull that strap as hard as you can. I give 100 pounds to whoever can snap the strap. That's how hard we want it. So, really working into the shoulders, strengthening into the biceps, triceps. Hold it here. Keep pulling that strap, looking straight forward. So we're not crinking the neck either. Okay, and then exhale. Down towards your butt, so down towards your waist. Roll the shoulders forward, just round the back a little bit, little counter stretch. Then we're going to squeeze the shoulders back, inhale, lift the strap back up halfway. Whoosh. And then really pull that strap. No leaning forward, no leaning back. Elbows face ceiling, inside of elbows face ceiling. Little bend in the elbows, feel that work. Okay, and then exhale, just take the strap over your head and then give your shoulders a shake. All right, so here we go. If that was just like, no, you're just gonna stay where you are and do it again, sorry. But if you fancy something a little bit extra, shorten the strap. We're gonna be doing it once after this as well, so maybe just save your full whack till third. But shorten the strap a little bit if you want a bit more challenge. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Inhale, lift the strap up as high as you can, and then exhale, take that strap back halfway. Now make sure it is halfway. Halfway is the point where it hurts the most. All right, so some people are like down there and it kind of feels like halfway, but you sort of have to lift it up a little bit. So don't cheat, then stand up nice and tall, then really pull that strap like you're gonna snap it, inside of the elbows face up, and you should hopefully be feeling that lovely, not so subtle opening into the shoulders across the chest. So, back bends, chest openers. What are we doing here? Chest openers. This is an incredibly important preparation for a wheel, crab, camel, which we'll be coming to later. So keep pulling that strap, and then exhale, let the strap come down by your waist. Then roll your shoulders forward, round the back, little counter stretch. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together, then inhale, lift that strap back up halfway. I feel like you can see me if I'm cheating, so I'm being extra careful. And then really feel that lovely stretch. It's beautiful. And then exhale, take the strap over your head, give your shoulders a shake. I love this exercise, all right? So, one more time. If you're feeling a little bit extra, shorten the strap. If that was a little bit too much, just lengthen it, no problem. Up to you. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Either way, this is the last time we're going to do it. Inhale, lift that strap up high above your head, and then exhale, take that strap back halfway. So again, no leaning, so seeing if you can stand up nice and tall. Pulling that strap as much as you can. Nice opening into the chest here. Breath steady, so keep that breath steady. And then exhale, bring the strap down to your waist, roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, little counter stretch. And then last time, here's the fun part. Roll those shoulders together, inhale, lift the strap back up halfway and hold it here. And then exhale, just take that strap over your head and then put that strap gently down at the front of your mat because we will be needing it in a bit. So give your shoulders a shake, all right? So it's good, you feel a little bit pumped from that. So the more you pull the strap, obviously, the better. So hopefully you're all feeling strong. Now we're gonna move through a couple of sun salutation variations. We're gonna be coming into some lunges for our hip flexors. So feet together, legs together at the front of your mat. Now lift your shoulders and allow them to fall back. You should feel that openness in the chest. Okay, then from here, as you inhale, swooping your arms up, looking up. Then exhale, fold, drop the head, coming into a forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to here, no problem. Then inhale, look forward, lengthen the spine, find some room. Before you exhale, your choice, step or jump back to plank, and lower till I press up on the floor, chin forward and down. Inhale, back bend, way, back bend. And then exhale, downward dog. Okay, so from downward dog, we're going to come into a low lunge. So inhale, right leg back, so lift right leg off the floor, point the toes. And then from here, as you exhale, step the right foot between the hands, and then drop the left knee. Top of the left foot on the floor, come up to kneeling. Oh, little low lunge. So, right knee can come a little bit over that ankle, not a problem. If it hurts, obviously bring it back. Sinking the weight down into the hips, feeling this huge old stretch, top of your left leg. Your choice. You can either have the hands to the right thigh, or lift the hands up, look up. I haven't done a low lunge for a while. This is good. Actually, I have, that's a lie. Sorry. They feel great though. Great to stretch into those hip flexors. So really seeing if you can sink those hips down as much as you possible. Can't talk. As much as possible. And then really reach those fingertips up. A few more breaths here. Okay, then exhale, fingertips to floor, hands to floor, then tuck the back leg, tuck the toes, push into the hands, lift the right leg back up into downward dog. Graceful and elegant, as always. So from here, inhale, left leg up, point the toes, and then exhale, left foot steps between the hands, drop the right knee, and you're coming up into that kneeling position, that low lunge position. Sinking the weight down. Feeling that huge stretch, right hip flexor, hands to thigh, or fingertips up, look up. Nice, slow, steady breaths through the nose. Okay, and then hands to floor. Press into the hands, tuck the back toes, left leg's coming back into downward dog. Have a minute in downward dog. You can pedal the heels a little if you want, but we're not staying here very long. Let the head totally relax. And then inhale, feet forward, look forward. Then exhale, drop the head. And then inhale, swooping arms up, looking up. And then exhale, arms by your side. Lovely, so we're going to need the strap for this one, so put the strap at the front of the mat. Somewhere where you can reach it, and then come to the front of your mat, legs together. Last time. So, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold, drop the head, forward fold. Inhale, look forward, lengthen. Exhale, feet back, and lower. Inhale, back bend, tops of the feet, shoulders back. And then exhale, downward dog. Okay, from downward dog, to begin with, we're going to come into our low lunge. So inhale, right leg up, point the toes. And then exhale, right foot between the hands, drop the left knee, and come up to kneeling. So, back into our low lunge. Now, you can stay here if it all gets a bit too much. Otherwise, pick up your strap. Yes. So, we've got our strap. Now tuck the left toes, and without hiking the hips up, so we're not lifting the hips high, we're just going to pop that heel back. So straighten left leg. Oh, see? Not letting the hips come any higher. So coming into a lunge now. Take the strap above your head, look forward. Okay, inhale, lift, exhale, strap back. Yes. Inhale up, exhale forward. Pulling the strap hard, keeping that back leg straight. Inhale up, exhale back. Woo! Inhale up, exhale forward. Few more, so working the shoulders and the hip flexors. Inhale up, exhale back. Yes. Inhale up, exhale forward. One more, keep that back leg strong. Inhale up, exhale back. Pull the strap. Inhale up, exhale forward, and then drop the back knee, put the strap down, hands to floor, tuck back toes, right leg back into downward dog, and I bet you've never been so glad to see a downward dog. Right, but we do have another leg to do. So inhale, left leg back, point the toes. Then exhale, step left foot between the hands, drop the back knee to begin with, come up to kneeling into our lunge, and then pick your strap up. We ready? So, without hiking the hips up, we're just gonna pop that leg back. So tuck right toes, pop, woo, and then get the right leg as strong as possible, and then take the strap over your head. Okay, so here we go. Inhale here, then exhale back, pull the strap. Then inhale up, then exhale forward. Opening my curtains here. Inhale up, exhale back, doing great. Then inhale up and exhale forward. I'm doing it with you in spirit. Inhale up, exhale back. Keep that back leg strong. Inhale up, exhale forward. 2 more. Inhale up, exhale back. That was a quick one. Then inhale up, exhale forward. Last one. Inhale up, exhale back. Inhale up, exhale forward. Drop the back knee, put that strap down, hands to floor, tuck back toes, legs into downward dog. Pedal it out if you need to pedal it out. And then from here, just come down onto your knees and make your way into whichever version of child's pose you like the best. Whew. Right there with you, my 80-degree heat near the radiator. Okay, so taking a few deep breaths or using this opportunity to have a drink. Have a little drink. Okay. And then make your way up into seated. So we're going to have a go at camel. Now, admittedly, camel is a posture that I have struggled with for so long. So I've got quite a flexible back. It's not a good thing. It's not always a good thing. So sometimes if the back is over flexible, you end up like dumping a lot of effort into the lower back, which is what I do. So camel's something that I've had to work super hard at. I've had to work really hard at keeping the legs strong and the technique solid. So we're going to have a little look at that technique now. So with camel, just in case you've not done it before, I'll show you what it looks like. You have your knees underneath your hips. Now it's really important your knees stay underneath your hips. So this is one thing that tends to happen a lot when people come into it. The hips come way back, but really we're keeping the hips pushing forward, and then the whole of the back bend really is from your chest lifting up and over. Now, I prefer to have the tops of my feet on the floor, but some people do prefer to tuck the toes. That's preference, that's up to you. So something that happens a lot, first of all, this, whoosh. I've realised that my labels are hanging all the way through. I just leave it up, it's fine, it's real. So something that happens a lot is your butt sticks out. So this is where I was at. So my bum's sticking out, and me trying to go back, I can already feel it in my lower back. So we're not tucking our hips under per se, but we are lengthening the tailbone down to the floor, okay? So this is going to give our lower back a lot more support. Another thing, like I said, when you go back, people just go, whoa, the hips come way back. Now imagine there is a pole or half a wall or something that comes up to your mid-upper back. We are trying to lift up and over it. So rather than thinking about crunching into the back, think about the chest lifting up and over, okay? And the hips gently push forward. So with that in mind, here we go. So this is a heart opener first and foremost. This is a chest opener first and foremost. So we'll do a supported version. So take your hands to your lower back. Make sure my label's not sticking out again. Great. So take your hands to your lower back. And then really work those shoulders back, okay? Like we've been working. The elbows come back. And then think about that pole, all right? So we're not dumping everything back. We're going to be lifting the chest up and over. So we're going to come back just a little bit. So hands are on your lower back. The hips are gently pushing forward. Another thing that's helpful is imagine your front body, your legs are up against a wall. Okay? Then inhale, lift the chest, look up, And then exhale very slowly. Don't come back very far. Just gently see if you can come into a very sort of small, subtle back bend. Chest is facing up, elbows squeezing back, hips are pushing forward ever so slightly, and you do not have to come very far in this posture to feel the work, okay? So hold it here for 5, doing really well. 4, 3, so no crunching in the back, chest is lifted. 2, and 1, come up. Woo! Make me woozy. So I hope you felt just how sort of challenging that was, and the difference between, we're not like trying to do that and come all the way back, always keeping the chest lifted up, lifting up and over, chest facing ceiling, and then the head can be in line with the chest, the neck doesn't have to tilt back a lot either, okay? So you're either going to repeat that posture there, or this time you can see if you can either dangle the hands if your back is feeling strong enough, or potentially take hold of the feet. So it looks a bit like this. So I actually quite like to start in that position. I like to inhale up. I like to really work on that, lifting the chest up and over. Hips are forward. As you can see, my head is up. I'm not tilting my head back too much. I'm still looking at the ceiling. And then from there, hands back. Once I've found that solid foundation, if your neck's okay, you can tilt the head back and look now towards the back of the room, all right? But always keep those hips coming forward and that lift in the chest. Let's do it, all right? So if you are unconfident with this posture, definitely just keep the hands on the back. Otherwise, come up to kneeling, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet or toes tucked up to you, then take the hands to the lower back to begin with. We're going to do it my way. So hands to the lower back. Set the foundation up. So remember, the hips are not coming back. The hips are going to stay over the knees. The hips gently push forward as we come back. The chest lifts up, over. So as you inhale, look up, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, very, very slowly, make your way back. Now always keeping that chest lifted. Hips gently pushing forward. All right, then once you're down, you can stay here or maybe release the hands. See if you can grab hold of the feet, the heels, the ankles, whatever. But don't let that collapsing happen in the back. Be my guest, you can let the head go if it doesn't hurt your neck. And then hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very slowly make your way back up, and then very slowly make your way into child's pose, whichever version you like the most. Okay, that went better than I expected. So I've got a neck injury at the moment, so I have to take it a little bit carefully with how I take my head back. But like I was doing, you don't have to take your head back. You can always keep it just looking up, no problem. Strong posture, so just take a few breaths. Definitely feeling that back stretch out. Okay, then inhale, make your way up into all fours, and then come onto your backs, and then hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side, and make circles. My back is feeling it. So again, just noticing like the quality of sensation. So my back doesn't hurt. My back definitely feels like it's worked. It's been worked in this session. So sometimes it's all about knowing what's good sort of pain and what's bad sort of pain. Sharp and shooting is usually no, you don't want to go near it. But sort of an intense sensation is not always a sign of a bad thing. Ran over. So the last couple of things I want to do a few bridges. That's what I want to do. So we're going to try a couple. We're going to see if we can do hands interlaced behind the back, and then we're going to see if we can take our own ankles. So, we're not going to be doing will today, just for the simple fact that I think it's best that we do that probably in a class together, but hopefully we'll be in a class together soon. So, for all you will lovers, don't worry, there will be plenty of wills to come, but for today, let's just do a couple of bridges. Bridge, fantastic. We put the beginner's back bend at the end. Great class planning. So, if possible, we're going to see if we can interlace the hands behind the back and then rock up onto the shoulders. Okay, so feet hip width apart and parallel, or slightly wider than hip width, doesn't matter. Interlace your hands behind your back and see if you can rock up, proper rock up onto your shoulders. So we've done quite a lot of shoulder stuff today. So really getting those shoulders as much underneath the back as possible, and then see if you can straighten your arms down the mat. Now if this isn't happening, just place your hands either side of the body, palms down. Right, and then from here as you inhale, we're going to press into the feet and lift the hips. The chest comes back towards the face just a little bit. And then we're in our bridge. Lovely beginner's back bend to finish with. Okay, so if you notice your knees splaying out, little bit of effort in the adductor muscles there to squeeze those legs back in. So the knees aren't touching, the knees are in line with the hips. Chin tucks in. And then hold it here. So we're not squeezing the glutes really hard, but the glutes are engaged to protect the lower back. Inner thigh muscles are working, and this is really important when we come to will, whenever we get to it. We want to make sure that we're not just flopping all over the place, that everything is in line. Alright, and then exhale, release. Don't know why I've been laughing so much today. Hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. I think it's because I found it really difficult. I'm sitting here like, it's alright, I love a hard class sometimes. Okay, and then now we're going to see if we can potentially take this one step further. Now only do this if you are, well, you can give it a go if nothing hurts, but I would say that this is an incredibly deep back bend. We're going to see if we can take the ankles, and if nothing happens, then just come back to the bridge we were working with. Of course, if it hurts, don't do it. So when you take hold of the ankles, you need to get a good grip. We're going to see if we can keep hold of the ankles. And this is an incredible back bend. In fact, I find it personally a little bit more challenging than will. So we'll see what happens. If you don't want to do it, repeat the one we just done. Otherwise, let's see if we can take our own ankles. Yes, yes, this is a great idea. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Okay, so it's exactly the same setup, and it's going to require a lot to try and push the hips up. This is just a bit of fun. This is like 3 minutes before the end fun. Okay, so feet hip width apart and parallel. Obviously the heel's going to be right up towards your butt now. And then we are going to hold onto the ankles if possible, and then lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And then this is a huge back bend. Alright, so it's exactly the same, but you're holding your ankles, and then the shoulders are really rocked underneath the body, but the neck, my neck is off the floor, so gently pressing into the back of the head to keep the back of the neck off the floor. All the weight in my shoulders, obviously huge stretch in the top of the legs. Wherever you are, if you're repeating the one before, perfect. Just hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, 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 release. Whew, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. Make whatever movements feel good. I mean, I feel very spaced out after back bends. So, I don't want to get too woo on everyone, but different postures are supposed to affect you in different ways. Like, some people, hip openers make them a little bit woo. For me, it's usually side stretches and some back bends. But in a very physical sense, areas you hold tension, if you release that tension, obviously, you're going to make you feel a certain sort of way. And then I think, because I'm talking crap, it's time to do a couple of twists before we end. It's usually a good time, but I need to stop. So, feet together, knees together, and we're actually going to, this time, cross the right knee over the left. So the right knee is stacked right on top of the left, and then take your arms out wide, palms down again. Move your butt over towards the right, ever so slightly. Inhale here, and then exhale, legs fall over towards the left. And then just gently turn and look over your right shoulder. So I'd say this is one of the deeper twists we do, with the weight of the legs stacked on top of one another starts to pull a little bit deeper into that right glute. But same things apply, no effort, just making sure that right shoulder stays down. Okay, and then inhale back to centre. And then uncross your legs, square your hips up, we'll change sides. Left knee on top of right, move the hips over towards the left ever so slightly, just gives us a bit more room. Inhale here, then exhale, legs fall to right, and then turn and look over left shoulder, keeping that left shoulder down. Okay, and then inhale, come back to centre, uncross your legs, square your hips up, and now we're just going to lie down. Lie in flat on the floor or having the knees bent if that's more comfortable, hands a little way away from the body, palms up. And then it probably would feel quite nice to take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth with a sound. You can do this a couple of times, 3, 4, 5 times. And then once you've done that, just let the breath come back to normal, let the body settle, and have a little rest. So quite a few back bends there. So check in with your body after you've taken your deep breaths and see how you feel. And no effort in the body, so you're just letting everything just melt into the mat, that's it. Melt into the mat, everything very heavy, no effort, feet falling out sideways and hands facing the ceiling. Okay, now you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you want, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be wrapping it up. So stay in here if you need to, if you want more. I recommend taking at least a couple of minutes longer. Otherwise, movement, hands and toes. Take a cat stretch when you're done. Hug your knees in, rock it out a bit. And I'm going to end this video here. I feel like I've just laughed for an hour. Anyway, thanks for joining me. That was a toughie. Like I said, back bend, super good for your back. Obviously you need to move mindfully, but for gentle sort of beginners, well, it's not beginners back bends, but that locus for very supported back strengthening exercise is very good. And keep doing them, and I will see you when I see you next. I'm gonna go now, I think I need to go. Bye, thank you for joining me, see you later.